Welcome to this calculus session. Today, we are exploring the convergence and divergence of improper integrals. We will understand when these integrals result in a finite value and when they do not. First, let's define what makes an integral improper. Normal definite integrals have finite boundaries and continuous functions. An integral is considered improper if one of two things happens. Either the interval of integration is infinite, such as going from 1 to infinity, or the function itself has a discontinuity, like a vertical asymptote, within the integration limits. Visually, we are asking a geometric question. Can a region that extends forever actually have a finite area? If the area approaches a specific, finite number, we say the integral converges. If the area grows without bound or doesn't settle on a value, we say it diverges. This graph shows the area under a curve extending to the right. Let's look at type 1 integrals, which have infinite intervals. Since we cannot plug in infinity directly, we use a limit. We replace the infinity symbol with a variable, usually t, and then calculate the limit as t approaches infinity. If this limit gives a real number, the integral converges. Here is an example of convergence. We are integrating 1 over x squared from 1 to infinity. We replace the upper bound with t. The integral of x to the negative 2 is negative 1 over x. Evaluating this from 1 to t gives us negative 1 over t plus 1. As t goes to infinity, 1 over t becomes 0. The result is exactly 1. The area is finite. Now, consider the integral of 1 over x from 1 to infinity. The antiderivative is the natural logarithm of absolute value of x. When we evaluate from 1 to t and take the limit, we get natural log of t minus natural log of 1. Since natural log of t grows forever as t increases, the result is infinity. This integral diverges. There is a handy shortcut called the p-test for integrals of the form 1 over x to the power of p. If p is strictly greater than 1, the integral converges. If p is less than or equal to 1, it diverges. This allows you to determine convergence just by looking at the exponent. Type 2 improper integrals occur when the function has a discontinuity. For example, a vertical asymptote where the function shoots up to infinity. Even though the interval from a to b is finite, the height of the curve is infinite at some point. We must handle these with limits as well. To evaluate these, identifying the problem point is step 1. In the integral of 1 over the square root of x from 0 to 1, 0 is the problem because the function is undefined there. We approach 0 from the positive side using a limit. Integrating x to the negative 1/2 gives 2 times the square root of x. Evaluating the limit gives us 2. It converges. Sometimes integration is too difficult. In these cases, we use the direct comparison test. If a function is smaller than a known convergent function, it must also converge. Conversely, if a function is larger than a known divergent function, it must also diverge. This logic allows us to determine behavior without doing the full calculus. To summarize, improper integrals involve infinite bounds or discontinuities. We evaluate them using limits. The p-test is a quick way to check 1 over x to the p integrals. And finally, comparison tests allow us to judge complex functions by comparing them to simple ones we already know.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.